This video is going to cover plotting points in a Cartesian plane and writing the coordinates of a given point. Some information about plotting points in a Cartesian plane. So as your x value increases, the point moves further to the right. When x decreases, the point moves further to the left. If y increases, then the point will move up further, so vertically, and when y decreases, the point will move down. When writing coordinates, they are always written in a certain order. The x value is always first and then the y. This is an ordered pair. On the page there is an example, 3, 2 as an ordered pair, so our x coordinate is 3 and our y coordinate is 2. We have a special point on our Cartesian plane, which is the point 0, 0, and that is the origin of the graph. Our graph is broken up into 4 quadrants. So quadrant 1 is when both x and y are positive. Quadrant 2 is when x is negative but y is positive. Quadrant 3, both x and y are negative, and in quadrant 4, x is positive but y is negative. You can see by the diagram at the top right the labelling of those quadrants. Okay, our first example. Write the coordinates of each of the points A to H shown on the Cartesian plane. State the quadrant in which each point is located. So if we start with point A, what we need to do is we need to have a look on the graph and say, okay, what is the x value of point A? So I need to go down to my x-axis, so the x value is 3. I then need to go across to the y-axis and read the value off the graph, and so the y value is 4. So if I want to write an ordered pair for A, my x value is 3, my y value is 4. We can then have a look at B. Now B is sitting on the y-axis. So that means that my x coordinate, if I go down to the x-axis, is 0. And because it's sitting on the y-axis, it tells me straight away what my y value is. So my x value is 0 and my y value is 3. So the ordered pair is 0, 3. I can then have a look at point C. And I go down to the x-axis. So -5 is my x value. And I go across to the y-axis, which is 5. So my ordered pair for C is -5, 5. I can then go to D, which is sitting on the x-axis at 4. So at the moment x is 4, and then I go across, and y is 0. So for D, we have an x value of 4, y value of 0. So the ordered pair is 4, 0. I can then go to E, which is also sitting on the x-axis at -2. So the x value is -2, and our y value is 0. So for E, the ordered pair would be -2, 0. I then can go to F and I go up and see what my x value is. So my x value is 5, and then I go across to my y-axis and my y value is -2. So for F, my ordered pair is 5, -2. I then have a look at G, which is sitting on the y-axis at -1. So my x value is 0 and my y value is -1. So for G, the ordered pair will be 0, -1. And our last coordinate, H, if I go up to the x-axis, my x value is -3, and to the y-axis, my y value is -4. So for H, my ordered pair would be -3, -4. Now that's part A. Part B is to state which quadrant each point is located in. So I'm just going to write quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can say which points are in which quadrant. So in quadrant 1, we have points A. In quadrant 2, we have point C. In quadrant 3, we have point H. And in quadrant 4, we have point F. I then need to have a look at my quadrants that are sitting on the axes. So B is both positive for x and y, so that's in quadrant 1. E is a negative x value but a positive y value, so that's sitting in quadrant 2. G is a negative y value but a positive x value, so that's sitting in quadrant 4. And D has a positive x and positive y value, so that's going to be in quadrant 1. Okay, example 2 is plotting points in the table. So you can see we have a table of values which shows some x coordinates and y coordinates. So each of these pairs can be written as an ordered pair. So if I took out the first coordinates there, we could write it as -1, -2. So what I need to do is I need to plot each of these points on my graph. So if I've got -1, -2, that means I need to go to x is -1, make a dot, and then go to y is -2, and then I go out to where those 2 points meet. And that is my first ordered pair. My next ordered pair is 0, 0. Now this is a special point on our graph, so that is the origin, so that's the middle of the graph. I'll mark that with a purple dot. The next point is 1, 2, so I need to go to x is 1 and y is 2, go up vertically from x is 1, horizontally from y is 2, and where those lines intersect is where that point is. The next ordered pair is 2, 4. So x is 2, so I start at x is 2 and I go vertically. Then I go to y is 4 and I go horizontally, and where those lines intersect, that is our ordered pair coordinate. My final pair is 3, 6. So I start at x is 3 and I travel vertically on the line. At y is 6, I go horizontally, and where those 2 lines intersect, that is the coordinate 3, 6. Now you can label those on the graph so that your reader knows which points you've located where. And so your Cartesian plane will look like that. A final question is plotting the following coordinates on a Cartesian plane. So we're given ordered pairs and you've got to plot them. Now the most important thing to remember is that the first coordinate is always x and the second is always y. So always remember that they're in the order of x, y. So if I want to plot this first point, I go to -3 on the x-axis, and then I find 3 on the y-axis. I go vertically from -3 on the x-axis, and I go horizontally from 3 on the y-axis, and where these 2 lines intersect, that is the coordinate -3, 3. My next ordered pair is -2, 2, so I go to -2 on the x-axis, I go to 2 on the y-axis, I go vertically from -2, horizontally from +2, and that is that coordinate -2, 2. I then look at my next one, which is -1, 1. So I go to -1 on my x-axis, up to 1 on the y-axis, and that is my coordinate. My next point is 0, 0. So again, that's the origin, so I can make a dot straight away in the middle of the graph. Our next coordinate is 1, -1. So I start at x is 1 and I go down until it intersects with y is -1, and that is the point. My next coordinate is 2, -2, so I start at x is 2, I go down because y is negative, and then I go across from -2, and where those 2 lines intersect, that is our coordinate. Our final one is 3, -3, so I start at +3, I go down until I intersect with the line from y is -3, and that is our coordinate. Now it's really important when graphing these that your coordinate is right where those lines intersect.